The plan was simple. Slip the Valentine into locker 108. Wait for my crush Mark to find it. And finally stop being just friends. I even put a secret Polaroid of us inside. I checked the number twice, or so I thought. I slid the envelope through the slats and felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. But 2 minutes later, I saw Mark walking down the hall toward locker 180. My heart stopped. If Mark is 180, then who is 108? I looked at the nameplate on the locker I just used. It didn't say Mark. It said Dave. Dave is the biggest bully in school. He lives for drama. And he hates me. If he finds that letter, he's not just going to reject me. He's going to read it over the school PA system. He's going to show everyone that Polaroid. My entire social life will be over before lunch. I tried to fish it out with a ruler, but it's too deep. Then I heard the heavy thud of combat boots. Dave was walking down the hall with his friends, laughing and heading straight for his locker. He was 5 steps away. 3. I ducked into the girls' bathroom. Just as I heard his locker click open, my phone buzzed instantly. It was a notification from the school's anonymous confession page. The caption read, "Someone left a little gift for Dave. Stay tuned for the big reveal at the pep rally. He has it, and he's going to use it to destroy me. Comment Valentine if you want to see part 2. I watched from behind the corner as Dave held my pink envelope like a trophy. He didn't open it immediately. He just smirked and tucked it into the pocket of his varsity jacket. Looks like I've got some lunchtime entertainment, he told his friends. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought it would burst through my hoodie. I had 40 minutes until the lunch bell. 40 minutes to get that jacket. I followed them at a distance to the gym. Dave and his crew were heading to the locker room to change for practice. This was my only chance. If I could get into the boys' locker room while they were on the court, I could switch the letter for a fake one. I waited until the sounds of basketballs hitting the floor echoed through the vents. I slipped into the locker room. It smelled like old sneakers and Axe body spray. I found Dave's locker, number 108, but it was locked. I started panicking, trying every birthday and zip code I could think of. Then I saw it. His jacket was hanging on a hook outside the locker. My hands were shaking as I reached for the pocket. I felt the paper. I pulled it out, but it wasn't my letter. It was a different note, written in messy handwriting. Meet me behind the bleachers at 1 o'clock. I know what you're hiding, Dave. Suddenly, I realized I wasn't the only one with a secret. Lose something, Mia? A voice boomed from the doorway. I spun around. It was Dave. He wasn't on the court. He was leaning against the door frame, holding my pink envelope between 2 fingers, waving it like a fan. He'd baited me. He took a step closer and started to tear the seal. Let's see what Mark's little sister has to say. Shall we? Comment stop if you want to see part 3. Dave was standing inches away, the pink envelope in his hand. I was trapped in the boys' locker room. And for the first time, I didn't see the heartthrob bully. I saw someone who looked exhausted. He didn't open the letter. Instead, he held up the other note I found in his jacket. You saw this, didn't you? Dave asked, his voice losing that mean edge. I nodded, paralyzed. The note said someone knew his secret. If you tell anyone what was in that locker, Mia, I'll make sure everyone in this school sees your little Polaroid with Mark. Deal. I should have said yes. I should have run. But I looked at the secret note again. The handwriting. It was identical to the one on the Valentine. I'd given Mark last year. Dave, I whispered, I didn't write that blackmail note. But I know who did. And if you read my letter, you'll see why I'm the only one who can help you. Dave finally ripped the seal of my envelope. He read the letter, his eyes scanning the part where I confessed to the fire alarm incident. He looked at the Polaroid of me and Mark. Then he did something I never expected. He laughed. A real, genuine laugh. Mark doesn't deserve this letter, Mia. And he definitely doesn't deserve you. Suddenly, the locker room door swung open. It was Mark. He looked from me to Dave, to the pink envelope on the floor. Mia, what are you doing in here with him? Mark's face wasn't full of concern. It was full of anger. He looked at Dave and said, Did she give it to you? Is the plan working? The plan? My heart shattered. Mark and Dave were working together? Comment Betrayal for part 4. The speakers across the entire school crackled to life. I didn't just tell everyone the truth. I played the recording of Mark admitting he was framing me. The silence in the hallway was deafening, until a roar of ooze erupted from the cafeteria. Mark's reputation didn't just drop. It evaporated. I walked out of the PA room, my hands still shaking from the adrenaline. Mark was being escorted to the office by the gym teacher, looking humiliated. He tried to glare at me, but someone stepped in his way. It was Dave. He didn't say a word, just stared Mark down until Mark looked at the floor and kept walking. The hallway cleared, leaving just me and the guy I used to be terrified of. Dave held out my pink envelope, the one with the Polaroid of me and Mark. You probably want to burn this, he said, his voice unusually quiet. I took it, ready to rip it up. But then I noticed he had crossed out Mark's name on the front. Underneath the ink, Dave had written his own name. I looked up confused. Dave rubbed the back of his neck, looking everywhere but at me. Look, Mia, I didn't help you just to get back at Mark. I've hated that guy for years because of how he treated people, but mostly because of how he ignored you. My heart skipped a beat. What are you saying, Dave? He finally looked me in the eyes, and for the first time, the bully mask was completely gone. I'm saying I've had a letter for you in locker 108 since freshman year. I was just too much of a coward to give it to you. Happy Valentine's Day, Mia. He started to walk away, but I grabbed his sleeve. I didn't need the letter from Mark anymore. I had something better. The end. That's it. Please subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to release more stories this week for Valentine's.